hey, spoilers. Don't fucking pirate Switch games, you degenerate pieces of shit. Just buy them.
I like that it was $30. Like it's like, oh, you have to buy, what is it, $30 one time or per year? $30 a year for premium membership if you want to buy to get more than one game, right? And I'm like, I guess
buy
that's
a game.
Still a good value, but still, if you're paying money for something, maybe just wait until you have a little more money and buy something, I guess.
Yeah, I was reading about this, and somebody in the comments was like, well, what if I want to play Dark Sun? And it's just like, well, I got some good news for you. I checked, and like nobody is using services like this to download Dark Sun. But what they are using it to is to steal Fire Emblem Three Houses, which is very easily available.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to redo any of my stories.
Awesome.
I don't really have anything else to say about the Nintendo piracy thing. Nintendo's been cracking down on a lot of pirates.
Yeah.
They have, kind of their thing they do. There are 2 other ROM sites that they shuttered earlier. Yeah, a little while ago, too. So yeah,
I mean, I don't have really any sympathy.
No, me neither.
I mean, with the older, with the Super Nintendo and Nintendo stuff, I have a little bit more in terms of just the sort of abandonware aspect.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the systems that are currently on sale, it's pretty hard to justify it.
Yeah, and I think obviously Nintendo's pretty litigious, but I feel like if you still want to hunt down for example, ROMs of Golden Sun, there are probably ways to do that, and they're probably not on Nintendo's shit list for taking down. But a company that makes probably millions of dollars a year stealing their games.
I wonder how much those guys actually make off of that. I guess the ads, because you can be usually all the ROM sites tend to have a shit ton of ads on them. Let's see the chat. Let's see what happens.
Yes.
You gotta go.
Graham's not here yet. I'll wait till he shows up. But then, as soon as Graham gets here, I have to leave. I will talk briefly about the Apple Arcade. That's the other story I did. It's basically what it says on the tin, $4.99. What it also includes is that's a family subscription.
Yeah.
So for $4.99, anybody in my Apple Arcade family,
anyone in the Apple in your iCloud family.
Yeah, so that would be me and Graham and all of our parents.
Yes.
Because all of them use because I have a family subscription to Apple Music. So
in theory, the other thing that it's kind of interesting is that theoretically the games are, I don't know if they're universally going to be cross-platform, but at least a lot of them, the idea is that they're iOS, iPhone, iPad, Apple TV, and actual just Mac.
Yeah. Well, and some of them are some of them are not just exclusive to iOS. For example, Sayonara Wild Hearts, which is hotly anticipated, is coming to Switch and PS4.
Yeah.
In addition to iOS.
But if you want to play it and see what it's like, and you happen to have an iOS device, it's I guess I could just drop $5 for a month and play it, and then I have played it. If that's kind of your jam, right?
Yeah, and they're not going to have a dedicated app. It's basically going to be a little different tab in the App Store. So it's if you have Apple Arcade, there's probably just a bunch of games that you can download.
Yeah.
Because it's for online and offline play, so it probably you probably need to be connected to the internet so it can check that you have the subscription. But it'll work the same way as Apple Music, where I have a membership, so I can download anything on the service and keep it on my phone for offline listening.
It's kind of amazing to me, the idea that out of me paying $5, if I pay $5 a month, so if I pay $60 in a year and I get access to all of those games, and I imagine they're not going to be streaming them from the web. They're going to be you're going to have to download this to your device to play it, because
it's just basically another way of buying it through the App Store, right?
Yeah. And I kind of feel if I'm amazed that off of that little money that I'm spending, that collectively we're all going to be able to continue to finance development, because that was kind of Apple's whole thing, is they're we want to make this because we also want to have a sustainable way for people to continue to make games. And I think in a way they kind of want to get the in-app purchase thing away from, because I think they're just kind of known for that. Mm-hmm. That's oh yeah, you want to play mobile game, you want to play game on iOS, well guess what, you're going to be paying fucking $5 every time you want to play this frickin' game out the nose, because you're going to need to buy the things to help you skip forward in the game. Couldn't we actually help people make better games by just paying them to make a game for our service?
Yeah.
If it works out for them, great. I'm keen to see what that'll do. So
basically, say they do an even revenue share for this, $5 a month. So there's 100 games. Every
Everyone gets
developer
5
gives
cents.
5 cents
yeah, every month
every month.
for every person who subscribed. Now, if that's like 1 million people,
That's fucking good.
yeah,
That's
5
great for
5
a
million
developer.
bucks, and you make a few $1,000s. You know,
It's probably not that straightforward. It's probably like, you get X per download or something like that, right?
and indie devs definitely this is great for like because I'm seeing like frickin' who showed up? The people who make Frogger. Capcom, I think, showed up as well.
Yeah,
the
Capcom
thing.
has a game.
Konami showed up.
Yeah,
Konami's
like-
Except
Frogger,
the
yeah.
the Frogger one is actually like it's not. It's some indie like it's not a
It's not a AAA company making it.
yeah.
Okay. It just feels like I think this is an interesting experiment because it's not exactly Apple Arcade is not exactly the same thing we've seen before in other like online game services. And especially for a mobile space, this will be very interesting to see if with that kind of reach, with that kind of oomph behind it,
Yeah,
what if
and
this becomes a success?
I feel like definitely Apple's probably losing a lot of money on Apple Arcade to keep those memberships low and enticing.
yeah.
Because for like $5 a month for everyone, right? Which
Yeah.
means like me and Graham can buy one membership between the two of us if we both want to play the new Square Enix RPG, which I don't remember what it's called.
It's
Something.
it continues with the from what I understand, Bravely Default is a great game, but man, they cannot name their games.
Well, Bravely Default is actually named after the mechanics of the game. You can be brave or you can default, which is to guard.
It's still a dumb name.
It's no. When you just say it on its own, it sounds real weird.
Various Day Life is the new game.
Yep, that's also a weird name for a game. But hey, who gives a shit? It'll be a great game. Or
I'm sure it
won't.
will be.
Yeah,
It is going to be an exclusive though, which is interesting.
Yeah.
yeah.
From the presentation, I felt like the presentation that they did on Tuesday gave the impression that more of the games were exclusive than they actually will be. Like, I feel like the impression that they gave was that most of the games will be exclusive, but I doubt that will be actually the case.
Yeah.
Like, we already know that the Sayonara one will not be
Also,
exclusive.
because right now it's like, okay, you've got 100 games, and they're like, we're going to add more games to the service. I'm like, sure, but that means that your revenue split's going to get chopped up tighter and tighter. So then what does that mean? Is that a thing where they're like, well, maybe what we'll do is we'll just have a curated set of games that every year it changes out with new and different games as new games are hotter and old games get not as hot? Do you do that? I don't know.
I don't know. The long tail is very important for a game dev. I wouldn't want to get dropped.
Exactly, right?
Right.
You want to you want to continue to be popular so you can
Yeah.
keep getting paid.
Yeah, that would be actually a big deal. Is because I mean that's the thing that's frustrating about like Netflix or whatever, right? Is that you're like, well, I have whatever Star Trek or something, and you'd be like, yes, I have this show, or even with the Disney stuff, I have all these cool Marvel shows,
Yeah.
and then boop, oh, suddenly they're gone.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh, I wanted to watch that.
And that's sometimes not even a condition of that's not even a condition of like, oh, they just decided to take it off the service. When they moved from 32-bit processors to 64-bit processors, they had given all the programmers notice. They said within about 2 to 3 years, we are going to transition to a full 64-bit platform, and if your apps period are not ready to run on that, they're leaving the app store.
Wow.
Like, we will just be end of lifing that shit, and people will not be able to run them on the new stuff. It's like that could happen again.
There are definitely some
Oh, yeah.
games. I mean, the nice thing about the subscription thing is that certainly gives people an impetus to upgrade their app.
Mm-hmm. You want people to be able to continue to play the damn thing in the first place. So, a very complicated new idea that isn't the same as streaming stuff through a video service or something.
Yeah, to be very clear, because I know there's been some confusion about it. This is akin to the Microsoft Game Store or Game Pass or the Ubisoft one or whatever. This is not like Stadia as in the
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Google thing. There's
This-
no streaming thing. This is just alternate purchase method, basically.
Yeah.
There's no special technology behind this.
I mean, I imagine Apple's impetus here is like Apple has made a tremendous amount of money off microtransactions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, I feel the golden age of mobile gaming is definitely long behind us, and there has to be a way to transition the industry back to making games that, you know,
You can sustain a group of people to make.
yeah.
Yeah.
And just because, like, you know, fewer and fewer people are interested in doing microtransactions, especially now that like AAA titles and like console games are into the microtransactions and stuff like that. Whereas, you know, before, you know, maybe you do a bunch of like microtransactions for your iOS games, and now you're using that money for Fortnite.
Yeah.
Right. So like I am not as up on the app economy as I used to be, because like I used to like work as a journalist for like a mobile app website news source, but I feel like TXT2 is a star that burned too hot and too bright and is now dying out. Absolutely, yeah. Like I feel like there's definitely been some shrinkage in that market.
Yeah, people. I think if you ask any game developer, they don't want to do microtransactions as a means of providing more feature to the game. And I think really a lot of game developers probably, I would feel that most of them don't even want to do things like loot boxes and stuff like that either, but they also, the producers see the reality, and they're kind of like, we understand that we need to have a mechanic for this kind of thing. We don't want people to have to spend their time gambling, but...
It's definitely the most sort of strong, the strongest like division between like, are we making this for the good of the game, or are we making this for the transactional, you know, the money aspect?
Yeah.
And of course, theoretically, video games are all made to make money.
Yeah.
But there's the loot boxes and stuff make it very sort of mercenary.
Yeah.
Well, and plus, I mean, I'm gonna say, obviously, I don't know all the realities of how video game like finance works, but like for definitely small teams, I feel like a sustainable income stream that allows you to keep supporting the game, right, is not a bad thing. It's nice to be like, you know, because like it's very stressful to be like work, get a bunch of money, have to subsist on that while work, and hope you get another bunch of money.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's like for like just everybody's like sanity, it would be much nicer to be like, I have about X money coming in every month, so that helps me pay my rent and also support this game and fund development of other games, right?
Yeah.
So like I understand why developers like the idea of a monthly revenue stream of games as a service rather than just, I hope you pay me $10 for it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you crack, and you know, maybe you crack the code like Matt Makes Games did with Towerfall and Celeste, right? Maybe you figure it out and you're like, I'm gonna make, and then boom, you just make a shit ton of money. I'm assuming, I don't know how much Matt has made, but it's like you make that kind of cash and you're like, I did it. I made it an indie game. I managed to do the thing. Hey, I did it again. Okay, great. That was awesome. Now I got to do it another time. Mm-hmm. Or you're just like these other people who make these games that are really neat games, but they just never crack the code. They just never quite get the kind of exposure they need. Mm-hmm. And then you're left in this, you know, you're left floundering to try to, you know, eat food.
Yeah, my thought is like if I want to, like I'm sort of tempted by it. I don't have like a lot of time to play games, but like, you know, it's not that I would be playing monthly to enjoy the same games. It's like, oh, I'll play this game and then I'll play the Square Enix RPG and see if I like it, and then I'll play something else.
Yeah.
Right? And like, you know, so like I'm basically buying a different game for $5 every month.
Yeah.
Right?
And don't have to feel the pressure of it, of like, you know, but anyway.
Yeah.
See, Matt Makes Games has a new studio name. They're now Extremely OK Games. That's awesome.
I do like indie game studios.
Yeah.
Have wonderful. The not only are they do they have silly names, but they often are renamed, or people leave and start their own studios, or studios combine and rename themselves, and you end up with a full assortment of silly names.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Graham to show up before I leave. Anything else we want? Let's talk about that weird Nintendo ring.
Yeah, let's do that. Because technically, I stayed up until 4 a.m. last night, yes, but I also watched the video today. So I have seen it.
Yeah.
So I fooled you all.
Okay, so I have to say, I have to point out that the marketing everybody in that game looks older than us.
Yes. Also, none of them were dressed for a workout in the... Okay, here's the thing. In the video they showed, it's 5 or 6 people like in a room, all cheering on the one person doing the one thing, which is extremely misleading because this is a single-player fitness game. Doing fitness in front of your friends while they all watch is kind of antithetical to the idea of doing fitness, I think. You know, it's a
What
thing.
if you're in a strongman though?
I guess. But it's like,
Yeah.
I'm just like,
I
it's
feel like
kind of-
the marketing as a party game might not be like the best way of doing it.
Yeah, because I was like, this doesn't like what you showed is not the reality of what you're actually going to do when you do this. I don't think you're going to.
Maybe you look particularly dumb while doing it.
There's that.
Is this another CTS? Should we get a Nintendo Ring thing?
I mean, I feel like that could be definitely an option.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was weird that it's like it's this hard swerve. Also in the video, I was afraid the presenters were going to eat me.
Yeah, the presenters
I didn't see that.
were the presenters were definitely from the school of hard sell, like
Slow intensity.
yeah, maybe vitamin supplements.
Yeah.
Or they definitely had that feel of like or trying to get you to sign up for a gym membership when you're
Yes.
like I don't think I really need to get to the no fitness is for you, man.
Like if you look at the body language while the woman is giving her thing and she's really giving you this thing and she is like Kate Blanchett in Lord of the Rings scary. That kind of an elf. Like she is just really like, I'm really into this, and I'm like, you're terrifying. And the guy who's standing next to her is leaning towards her while she's talking, waiting for his opportunity to do the thing, and then he turns back to the camera to talk to whatever. I'm like, there's a lot going on. This has nothing to do with Ring Fit Adventure, by the way. I think Ring Fit Adventure is a really neat looking thing, and I do want to try it. But holy crap, like the video's a wild trip. Like,
All right. I have to go.
okay.
I will see you later. Paul, take my space.
I mean, I could continue to talk about Ring Fit Adventure. I can totally do that. Actually, Paul, I think it's a neat thing, and I want to give it a try.
It's one thing that I was definitely noticing the kind of movements people were doing. As I'm sure is not a surprise, I've had all sorts of problems with my back and things, and I've been to many physiotherapists and chiropractors and so forth. And the exercises that I've been prescribed,
Yeah.
using like a tension band and stuff, look very similar to a lot of the exercises that they're doing with these rings. And I was like, hey, that's could be relevant to my interests.
Yeah.
I like a video game that does the things that I'm supposed to be doing anyway.
I like the RPG element of it, is that it's like we want you to do these things and you're going to like fight these monsters and all this kind of stuff. What I kind of expected is going to happen, though, is that it is going to be, when you start playing it, it's going to be the same kind of thing in the adventure over and over. It's like, you know that the first thing you're going to do is you're going to do some arm work, and then you're going to do some like leg work, and then you're going to do like some yoga. Like they're going to try to split it up so you're always kind of doing, it's not random encounter type thing where it'd be like, I have to do 4 arm work things in a row just to try to kill whatever random monsters show up, but I don't know that. Maybe it will be.
I mean, presumably it's sort of set up to be a reasonable workout. Probably, I would guess that the workout aspect is probably taking a higher priority than the probably taking a higher priority than the actual like gameplay aspect.
Yeah.
If it's like, sure, you could fight like 10 of these guys that involve you doing a certain arm movement all one after another. They probably won't make you do that.
No, because it would be exhausting. It wouldn't. That's not the way you should have to try, play the game. But I do. Yeah, I think the fact that rather than do Wii Fit for me was interesting because it was like you're buying a piece of exercise equipment and there are games included inside past all the exercise stuff. This made me feel like this is like the Kinect Adventures thing where it's like you're going to be doing a bunch of stuff and you're going to be getting exercise in the process. We fooled you into it kind of deal, right? Like We Fit at least felt very honest about, we want this to be a fitness thing first, and there'll be games to keep you interested past the fitness stuff. This feels like, F it. Play the game. It's a game first. You're going to enjoy the game and you're going to get a workout from doing it, and there's value in that.
I mean, there does appear to be some sort of straight up fitness stuff where you can ignore the game and just be like, I want to do a whole thing.
Yeah, I want to do sets of this.
I want to do sets of stuff.
And that's cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but they definitely were like, I think we have to push the game first this time, and we have to put the exercise stuff, like, mention it after. I'm like, all right, I think the ring is a cool thing too.
And also as Aventura in the chat says, and I can attest to because of the giant scar I have on my hand, some of the movements involve you throwing your hands up above your head. Careful of where you are when you're doing that kind of movement, that you're not, say, in an area in a area with a low ceiling, where you could hit an overhead light fixture.
All right.
So just, be aware of where you are. And also, here's Adam.
Hi.
No, it's not even plugged in yet.
Is it on the board?
Did you turn it on the board?
Which one is it?
Number 1. Just make it about even with everybody else, I think.
Well, they're all maxed.
Oh, are they?
Number 1?
Well, one's now maxed.
Yeah, turn one up. Yeah, is that?
Oh, then talk into it and we'll see who
Hi.
it is.
Hello.
Very natural.
Hello.
Test.
Test. Dude, I'm like sweaty.
That's so my.
It's hot in here.
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
also wearing a sweater.
Just take off our
So the others. So let's just
just roll
quickly
it.
talk about some stories we didn't do in the episode.
Sure, let's talk about some stuff we did in the...
Sun's out, guns out.
Yeah.
One of the other things that came out of TGS, at least before we went live. I'm sure there's new stuff all coming out all the time. Is that they continue to show more from Death Stranding. In fact, they showed an hour of gameplay from Death Stranding.
And
It's still kind of confusing.
nobody knows what's going on.
This
Okay.
game, they've showed the most gameplay from this game that I've ever seen without people being able to know what the hell the game is actually about.
So is that basically just the experience of Death Stranding? Is it...
Apparently, there's a lot of traveling around. You got to do a lot of self care is important. You have to because you're traveling around, but you can take breaks and play your harmonica and relax.
That's awesome.
And because you got a little baby with you,
Yeah.
and so you have to entertain the baby, and take your shoes off and kick back for a little bit.
Did you
in
watch
the
the
middle.
whole video?
Not an hour of video, no.
Is it just adventures in babysitting?
I feel like yes, but adventures emphasized. But
God, that movie.
Movie's great. That's a good movie. Let's watch Adventures in Babysitting. A baby's in a jar?
Yeah.
Well, leaving its ass.
yeah,
in
there you go.
Haunted forest or enchanted swamp.
There's also a baby that is apparently in another dimension. There's a lot of confusing things in it.
Okay, cool.
It's one of those games where if you just watch the trailer and then just list off all the things that are apparently in the game, it's that's not that you just made up half of those.
Great.
Man, there's a baby and a big baby.
So the in WoW news, as we all know, Adam fan of WoW.
Yeah.
They've just started up the Refer a Friend program again, which they had for a long time, and then they discontinued it,
Okay.
and then they brought it back. And the idea here is that you refer a friend, and then the longer your referred friend stays playing WoW,
Okay.
and with an account, the more stuff you get on your account.
Oh, okay.
So every 3 months, every month you get something new on your account as long as your friend is still playing.
Is this classic as well? Or?
No. So
Just
this
the
is
WoW
so,
sub.
so this is only for like real. So this is the
Retail?
problem. This is the problem, is that they announced this, and it's be coming out in a little bit.
Okay.
It only works for if your friend hasn't been a WoW player for at least 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so people brought up the idea that they're bringing this back after they already have like enticed a ton of people to come back because of WoW Classic.
Oh.
Also, it doesn't apply to people playing, like it doesn't apply to people playing
Only
WoW Classic.
Oh, I see.
And so people, and also a bunch of the rewards are like super good things. And so they're like, this isn't even just like this isn't even like paid DLC. This is, you have to have somebody else pay for your stuff.
Right.
Which is kind of weird.
Oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Oh, I've heard of these.
What's a pyramid scheme?
They're very successful. You entice other people to buy shit from you so that you can make more money.
Is it weird that all of the in-game things you get are Egyptian themed?
That is a little weird. Just a bit on the nose.
Wow. Okay.
Whew.
Yeah.
Kind of hot in these rhinos.
Yeah, how about that? Didn't expect
Video
that at Blizzard.
games,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Multi-level up marketing. I like that.
There was just this awesome story that came out of PAX, from an interview they did with PAX, that there's a new game. There's a game coming out called Backbone,
Looks cool.
which is a noir detective game starring a raccoon
Okay.
in like a all animal version of
What schooling did the
Vancouver.
raccoon take to become an investigator?
Well, I guess you have to play the game to find out.
Okay.
It's probably
I
wanna
would
know-
assume
I
I
wanna
would assume
see-
the School of Hard
I
Knocks.
would like to see its permit, please.
it's probably just like
he's-
most PIs, right?
He's in like, it's like an animal version of Vancouver
Yeah.
that it takes
Okay.
place in. But the best part about it is in an interview with the developers, they found out that apparently the inspiration for the game was they were having the development team was having like a group chat about a different game that they were working on. And in the middle of the game, one of the guys in the group chat looks out the window, and there's this family of raccoons like attacking his like compost heap. And so during the live chat, he's going out there and like trying to shoo away these raccoons
Yeah.
that are attacking his thing, until he actually goes over and grabs a trumpet that he happened to be borrowing and starts trying to scare these raccoons away with a trumpet.
Which did work because they ran up a tree.
Which apparently worked. So what that created was, they were like, this is a great idea for a game where like a raccoon like economy with like, you know, raccoons fighting over like trash and stuff.
Yeah.
Also, this is a great idea for the soundtrack for the game. Apparently was inspired by the playing the trumpet to scare these raccoons away.
And also, he doesn't know how to play the trumpet.
Why does he have a trumpet?
He borrowed a trumpet from a friend because he wanted to learn how to play. He didn't actually know how to play.
So there was an intention.
Yeah, and then somewhere along the way, it turned from being a family of raccoons to being you play as a raccoon in a weird animal Vancouver, and you solve mysteries.
Just yeah,
like,
I just
Still,
inspired by the developer being attacked by raccoons on live stream. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
There was the Sea of Thieves stream with that they had the monkey that
monkey threw up all over a dude on a live stream.
What the fuck? What?
A real live monkey.
Yeah.
Because you can now get monkeys in Sea of Thieves, so they brought a real live monkey on. The devs did, and the monkey was running from shoulder to shoulder, stopped on one of their shoulders, and just threw up all over him live on stream.
And because it's a monkey, you know, monkey has no, isn't embarrassed about it.
the monkey, yeah.
Yeah, he's not embarrassed about it or anything. He's just like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, you're the one at fault.
Yeah. You fed me. What do you want?
Yeah.
Wow, that's...
So now you can get monkeys in Sea of Thieves, and they probably won't throw up on you until they program that in.
But they should program that in.
Yeah. So that's 2 games inspired by real life events.
Exactly. But I believe everybody has tweeted us in various ways.
Oh, yeah.
There is a KFC dating sim, which is, yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Which
right?
is a video
Official.
game. Stop what you're doing.
This is
Stop
actually
it.
like official. This
Yeah.
is made by KFC.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
they went to PSYOP and said we want to make something to market whatever, and they're like, "How about
So-
a dating game?" It's like, yes,
So it's
money,
like
yes.
super anime Bishi
Colonel Sanders.
What's Bishi mean?
Bishonen.
like
What does Bishonen mean?
Beautiful boy.
Okay,
Beautiful
Beautiful
boy.
boy.
That's what I was looking.
like
You can find all this and more when Road Quest comes out when it's done.
yeah. And
We didn't
you
talk
know,
about that, did we?
We did not talk about that.
No.
So yeah, it's apparently, which I like the take I've seen on it, which is it's like, okay, one, there's the weirdness of this just being, a big multinational fast food chain putting out a dating game.
Yeah.
Two, the weirdness that Colonel Sanders was like a real guy.
Yeah.
It's not like he's just the
He was a real fuckable human being at one point.
He's
Yeah.
not just the mascot for the company.
Yeah.
Like he was a real guy who apparently
Was Ronald McDonald real?
Yeah,
Kind
none of you wanted to fuck him when he was alive.
Yeah, so now what do you want to fuck him?
Yeah, really.
Was Ronald real?
Apparently, the colonel
Ronald
was
real
kind
person?
of anti KFC near the end. Like he kind of was not happy with
Oh, yeah.
how KFC went. Yeah.
Yep.
It was
I think
supposed to be
Ronald-
about the chicken, man.
I think Ronald's real. I mean, he's real as any other clown.
But I mean, like, was he based off a real person? Like, was like,
Oh God.
you know what I mean? Like,
I hope not.
like Ronald.
The
fucking
weird,
loves-
the weird third brother of the McDonald brothers who started McDonald's. It's like, this is a weird redheaded brother we kept in
Ronald.
the attic. Yeah.
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 We kept him
Yeah,
in
that-
the attic. Fed him fucking buckets of fish heads.
Yeah.
that wasn't makeup
How
that
do you,
he
how
was
do you,
wearing.
how do you think we did with the fillet of fish? You know, like, just you only get a half piece of cheese today, Ronald.
Yeah. Who decided to put cheese on a fish burger? That's what I want to know.
Ronald McDonald.
The
And
real
half a piece of
psychopath.
cheese, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, it's Friday.
Well, who else do you try to bang in the KFC dating sim then?
Everybody that you can bang
What
in the
characters
KFC,
do they have other than the Colonel?
I believe they're all variants on Colonel Sanders.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think there's
Oh.
even like a dog that looks like Colonel Sanders. I don't think you get to fuck the dog, but I think there is a dog that looks like Colonel Sanders. I might just be making this up.
I feel like you're making it up.
Yeah.
Is that the plot of
I
Death
literally-
You just described the plot of Death Stranding.
I literally cannot
you try
tell.
to fuck
Yeah.
the Colonel.
I literally cannot tell whether you made that up or not. Like I have no basis in whether something is true or not anymore.
I thought I read something, but I was also up until 4 a.m. last night. Hey, tell us about this next game.
So hey, Adam, this is legitimately relevant to your interests.
Okay. Is it about Cuphead?
There's a Resident Evil spin-off coming out.
Okay. Yeah, that's me. I
called
love Resident Evil games.
Project Resistance.
Yeah.
And it actually sounds kind of neat. It's like a 5-player asymmetric multiplayer thing where there's going to be it's like 4 players playing the game or trying to like solve puzzles and get out of this thing, and then the 5th person is like the evil mastermind controlling stuff and like can like send zombies after them. and
Okay.
stuff.
That's sick. I'm listening.
Yeah. It's very Death.
It's Left 4 Dead?
Very Dead by Daylight.
Is it evolved but not shitty? It's Left 4 Dead. Oh. It's Left 4
It seems cool.
It's an escape room.
Yeah, apparently it sounds like more puzzly than Left 4 Dead stuff.
Dead. Where's my Cuphead DLC? Consarn it.
Is there supposed to be
Graham, where is it? I know you're hiding it.
I think the Cuphead DLC is just the Netflix show they're getting, isn't it?
is there supposed to be
The
Cuphead?
Netflix show where we find out that they're flat earthers?
Right, I forgot.
I mean-
I didn't, because I'm waiting.
they live in a 2D world, so
Yeah.
it is kind of flat, I guess.
Makes sense.
It's just
Checkmate,
not, it's,
atheist. Yeah.
It's flat, but not on the
CheckPoint,
axis
atheist.
that you expect it to be.
We use that.
Yeah, I know. But now it's a thing. Checkpoint, atheists.
Yeah. So that was the stories that.
I mean, there were other stories, but F it. We got to do subs so we can play Lair MTG.
Yeah.
There's stuff that's going on at the Moonbase today.
All right, it's 1:57.
Yep.
Yeah. Today's a pretty packed day of streaming.
I'm so hungry.
Also,
Yeah?
James is hungry. Wait, Beej is hungry.
Beej is hungry.
James is also probably hungry, but that's not
James is
relevant.
never hungry.
No.
No.
Weird.
I'm not going to A&W
James-
anymore.
Why aren't you going to the AEW?
They have a union busting team.
Really?
Yeah, if any franchise ever wants to unionize,
Yeah.
They send the bear after you.
the managers can
Send the bear after you. What's the bear's name? The root bear?
Yeah, it's the root bear, but I don't
The
think
root
he actually
bear.
had a real name.
Root bear.
He must have had a real name.
Did he have a real name?
I don't remember.
Answer. Vote with your phones.
All right. I want to thank all the people who subscribed during the stream, which hopefully starts with this person. Asotska. Wait.
Asoxa?
Asoksa? Sure. Welcome for 29 months.
Rain Murphy for 10 months. Welcome back.
Startled Lemmer. 27 months. Thank you. Is it Lemur? Lemmer. Lemur?
Ogyan the
Why did I
Silent
say Lemmer?
for 8 months. Thank you.
Muddy Thunder for 14 months. It's a hell of a name.
Daniel Lewis, 84. Thank you for the 26-month resub.
Danny Lewis?
Daniel Lewis.
I think it's maybe just because you pronounce it as a whole word.
Daniel. It's all one word.
Bodacious Nia for 7 months. Thank you.
Reeser 6 for 29 months. Thank you.
And
Thank you for the 320 bits from H-Bomb and Friends and Divion.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. And yeah, so coming up we're going to go offline here very briefly. Well, fairly briefly anyway. And then it's going to be LR MTG, where Adam and James are going to be playing some Arena.
Yeah,
Probably.
sure are.
You know what you're actually going to be playing on there?
Nope.
Alrighty.
And then
Probably Magic cards.
Probably Magic. Richard Garfield's Magic the Gathering.
And then tonight, it's going to be Tinker Tailor Solder Fry, where Ian is continuing his build of the
Open Disky.
Yeah, the guidance system. Theoretically, we will be able to send things into outer space.
Yep.
Or at least, if we could send things into outer space, we would now be able to guide them.
Yeah.
I feel like the actual
Do we really need to
rocket
give Ian that kind of power?
Well, but the rocket that actually sends the stuff into space is probably the harder part of the whole process, rather than the guidance part.
Yeah.
Is it though?
I mean, as long as nobody
I
sells
think they're
them
all
solar
equally
fuel.
hard, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's the whole thing is quite difficult.
As they say, you don't want to give rocket fuel to a guy who looks like Dr. Robotnik.
Isn't that what I said?
I think it was what you said.
Yeah, he does look like Dr. Robotnik. I was like 3 beers deep.
Oh,
when
were
we did
you?
that. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, when we did that
was
when
a
we did live panelists.
Powerful panelists. All right. I'm done here.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and we will see all y'all later.
Bye.